Listen, monk. In every moment, you are born, decay, and die. What happens when we die? Death is a mystery every single one of us will have to face. Even the Buddha had to die. Many people think that our soul or self will come back, that we will be reborn. Most likely, no one will ever know anything for sure. But what did the Buddha really teach? Contrary to common perception, the Buddha never taught anything like a soul or a self going from one life to another. What the Buddha always taught about was becoming and re-becoming. We know everything is impermanent. Everything changes. Our body certainly is impermanent. We can see our body change from year to year, even from moment to moment. The water we drink interfuses our body and so becomes part of it. And our body constantly gets rid of things it doesn't need anymore. Excrement, skin, hair. Our body keeps changing, slowly but surely. From moment to moment, there is just continuity, but never identity. But what about our mind? Maybe our mind is permanent. In our daily life, we experience our mind as a stream of perceptions, feelings, and thoughts. We experience a permanent consciousness, and we refer to it as a soul or as a self. As me. But whenever we sleep, this mind is gone for a while. When we are in a deep sleep, deeper than our dreams can reach, there are no perceptions, feelings, or thoughts anymore. Our mind just disappears. It seems that our mind is impermanent too. Actually, we can experience the impermanent nature of our mind in meditation. Watching our mind in concentration, we can see perceptions, feelings, and thoughts slow down and pass by, one by one, like in slow motion. Their constant flow breaks up into individual events, like a film running slowly breaks up into individual frames. When our concentration is deep enough, we observe a strange thing. These mind events never overlap. Our mind works by focusing on one thing at a time only. One mind event arises and ceases. The next one arises and ceases. In daily life, the sequence of mind events obviously happens very fast. Because there is so much around us, we usually do not realize how the mind switches from one focus to the next, back and forth, on and on. Only in meditation, when the mind calms and slows down, we can experience this. With the mind slowing down further, another realization is important. As mind events arise and cease, our whole mind arises and ceases. Because between events, when all perceptions, feelings, and thoughts have gone, there is nothing left. So the mind obviously has gone too. And as soon as there is some new event coming up, the mind will reappear, just like waking up from deep sleep. We realize, with every perception, feeling, or thought, our whole mind keeps arising and ceasing, on and on and on. This is the becoming and rebecoming of our mind. This is the kind of rebirth the Buddha taught. The arising and ceasing of our mind leads to the question, is it the same mind that keeps arising? Or is it a different one each time? We know our mind can change from moment to moment, to the extent that we do not even recognize ourselves sometimes. The Buddha put it this way: our mind is circling in Samsara, the endless cycle of life and death. Samsara literally means wandering. By becoming and rebecoming, the mind will cycle through different states. These refer to the wheel of life, from ancient times, long before the Buddha. When we are strong, compassionate, and reflective, we feel like a human. But feeling helpless and scared, we are more like an animal. Insatiable greed will make our mind a hungry ghost. Indulgence in pleasures will make us feel divine, but also insensitive to what's going on around us. Sometimes we feel in heaven, and sometimes we just suffer, like being in hell. Our mind changes from moment to moment. Our cycling through samsara is the becoming and rebecoming of our mind. This is why the Buddha said, every moment we are born, decay, and die. Just like our body, we see our mind change. We see that every mind arising is a new mind. a mind that never was before. Never identity, but always continuity. But what about death then? According to the Buddha, death is just an illusion, a concept of our mind. Death is just the name for a certain change, which in reality is not an end. Every moment we die, and every moment we are born, becoming and rebecoming. This is the kind of death and rebirth the Buddha taught. So what may we expect from what we call death? Well, most likely no wandering soul, no new life originating from our old one. Death is just transition, as is birth, as is every other moment. With our body and mind, we have never experienced identity, but always continuity. Just like everything, we will move on, continue, wherever, whatever. Simply because we are part of this world. We are this world. Always were, always will be. This is the way the universe works. So, death is a stage of transition. It is continuity. But what can we do to overcome our fear of death? In meditation, we can see beyond our fearful mind. We can experience impermanence. We learn to let go. As soon as we are able to accept change and impermanence, we are able to accept becoming and rebecoming. We can ask ourselves, is there really a need for this body and for this mind? We can accept our own rebecoming within everything else rebecoming. Then our fear of death will decrease.